Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha. Shruti Smriti Puranaanam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashyakritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Mukti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Muktaye Namaha Shri Medha Dakshina Murti Swamine Namaha Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahavidyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamrita Varshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva Manusandhadami Bhagavad Gita Bhavatveshinim Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedais Sankabadakramopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Dadgatena Manasam Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantanna Vidhussura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Namaste once again, everyone. So I humbly request all of you to please mark your attendance. So in the last class, I think I did read the sloka, isn't it? The 20th sloka and one more line of the 21st sloka, if I remember right.
Yes.
So I have read the sloka. Right? Okay, so basically here it says that here Sanjaya is now reporting to Dhritarashtra. He says that after that, okay, Atha, at that moment, when the discharge of the arrows was about to begin, and Arjuna, who had a flag with a emblem of a monkey, actually it was Hanumanji, I will tell you about that, as his banner, no, a monkey, Kapidhwaja, that's why he is called here Kapidhwaja, right? Kapi means monkey, Dhwaja is flag. So the one who has got a monkey on his flag, he saw the Kauravas assembled and he raised his bow not to shoot an arrow. Why did he raise the bow? We will see. And he spoke the following words. This is what the sloka says. Right? Tada vakyam idam aha mahipate. O king, he spoke the following words. And then what were the words? We will see later in the next sloka. Okay. This sloka is a very, very important sloka. It marks the Act 2, the second act of the Bhagavad Gita, of the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Till now, it was all sort of a build-up, showing the armies, who is there, and all that kind of thing. Now, the real action is about to begin, and the story takes a complete turn. Okay. And that this is the second phase of the first chapter is marked by the word Atha. This word Atha in Sanskrit language, it indicates a change, either, a change of a topic or a change in the context. whenever the word atha we come across, that means that there is a different thing now going to be talked about. So thereafter, literally. If it is a movie and all that, there will be some background music to show the change and all that. But Vyasacharya ji can't put in music in Bhagavad Gita, isn't it? So it has to be done only through words, which will convey a change in the scenario. So therefore, Sanjaya, he is indicating that this is the turning point in the story by this word atha, starting with atha, right? So now what is this present situation? The Kauravas, Duryodhana people have blown their conches. Pandavas have blown their conches. And all this blowing and the sound which was created, tumultuous sound was reverberating from earth to sky. That was the scene. So the actual battle now should start with people, shooting the arrows. And this is indicated by the word Shastra Sampate Pravritte. That is, everybody is getting ready to shoot the Shastra Sampate, to exchange the Shastra and Astras and all that, war is going to start. And when everything is set, at the nick of the moment, suddenly a thought comes in Arjuna's mind. And because of that thought, Arjuna raises his bow to say, time please, don't start, don't shoot. 1 minute. Similar thing we have seen in cricket matches also, isn't it? The bowler would have had his run-up, but the batsman is not ready. So what he will do? He will actually raise his bat or raise his hand or something like that. Some indication he will show to the bowler that don't bowl now. I am not yet ready. Similarly, here Arjuna also raised his bow to indicate that, wait, I am not yet ready. Okay. And this event is going to lead to a dramatic change in the entire scenario. What we have seen, all this preparation for war, everything that is there, it has come to actually shooting of the arrows, then there is a total change in the scene. Okay. If only the thought had not come in Arjuna's mind, the Mahabharata war would have started. Arjuna would have fought valiantly with Krishna on his side and would have won. There would not have been any Gitopadesha. No chance for any Gitopadesha. Vyasacharya would not have written this Bhagavad Gita. In fact, they would have skipped this chapter and then straight away gone to what happened after the war. And then Puja Swamiji and Swami Paramarthananda ji and others would not have an opportunity to teach the Gita because there would have been no Gita. We would not have been sitting here and spending our 1 hour time on Saturday evenings. So that one thought in Arjuna's mind has changed the entire story and has given rise to the birth of Bhagavad Gita. So Sanjaya is explaining, or he is describing the scene. Dartra Rashtran Vyavastitan Drishtva. Arjuna saw all the Kauravas. Actually, the word Dartra Rashtran is the correct word, most appropriate word. Because whenever colloquially we have been using the word Kauravas for the Duryodhana people. Actually, if you see, Pandavas, the Panja Pandavas are also Kauravas only. The meaning of that word Kaurava means those who belong to the Kuru dynasty, that is Kauravas. So both the Dhritarashtra family and his brother Pandu's family, both are descendants of Kuru, the king Kuru. If you remember, we saw The reference to King Kuru. So both actually are called, can be called Kauravas. But somehow in practice, whenever we say Kauravas, we refer to the Dhritarashtra's children like Duryodhana and all. When we say Pandavas, we refer to the Pandavas. But here Vyasacharya is very careful. That's why he says Dhritarashtra, the children of Dhritarashtra. After seeing Duryodhana and others, Dhritarashtran Vyavastitan Drishtva. So he's having seen Duryodhana and others there in that, in the battlefield. Kapidwaja Pandavaha. Here the word Pandavaha is used in singular. So we have to, the meaning we have to take is referring to Arjuna. If it was Pandavaha, then it is all Pancha Pandavas, we can take the meaning. But here it is a Pandavaha, means singular, Arjuna only. And who is a Kapidwaja? As I said, Kapidwaja means the one who has got a monkey banner in his flag. And in those days, in the war and all that, even today also, every regiment has got its own flag, isn't it? Those who are, I think, Krishnanji and all can confirm, who have been in Navy. So even all regiments have their own flag. They have got their own songs and music and all that. Those days also, every warrior had his own, great warrior. I mean, he should be a warrior of renown, had his own flag. So on his chariot, that flag will be there. So whenever he is going and fighting, everybody can see where this warrior is fighting. And they can keep a track of what is happening. If he is being attacked by a lot of people at a particular place, then they can rush reinforcements to that place to, fight along with this warrior. So since Arjuna was a great warrior, so obviously he had his own flag. And there is a very interesting story, because as I told you, this flag, that monkey, image was actually Hanumanji. And there is an interesting story which goes with that. How Hanumanji came to sit on the flag of Arjuna. In fact, there are a couple of versions of that story also. Story is one, that different versions are there. Swami Paramatmanandaji says one version, then Puja Swamiji refers to another version. We have a benefit of both, so we will see both the versions for our entertainment. So we know that Hanuman was called Anjaneya or Vayu Putra. Is another name for Hanuman. So Vayu Putra means he was the son of Vayu Bhagavan, Vayu Devata. And Bhima also was Vayu Putra. Bhima was born to Kunti and Vayu. Because of that one boon which Kunti got, she tried it with all the Devatas. So Bhima was born to Vayu Devata. So that way, if you see, father is the same, Vayu. So Bhima and Hanuman are actually brothers, father being the same, born to different mothers. Okay. So, and Anjaneya is supposed to be Chiranjeevi. He was there in Treta Yuga, was in Dwapara Yuga, and it is said that he exists in Kali Yuga also. In fact, if the folklore says there is some place where Hanumanji is actually even now residing there. Of course, we don't know much about it. We can look up Wikipedia and we will know all the details about that place. Okay. Anyhow. So the story goes that Bhima went to Anjaneya, his elder brother, and then he actually requested him to ask for blessings. The war is going to start, so please bless us. Okay. So Anjaneya blessed him and told him that I know this is a very momentous war and I will be present there personally to bless all you people. And I will be present there in the form of an emblem on Arjuna's flag. So it is said that Anjaneya, being a Dirgadarshi, he knew that This is a momentous war and something is going to happen here. And he wanted to witness it. Perhaps he knew that their Gita Upadesha is going to take place and he wanted to listen to Gita. In Treta Yuga, he listened to Rama Upadesha. In Dwapara Yuga, he had an opportunity to listen to Gita Upadesha. Such a great man, Hanumanji. It's real scholar. When you read about Hanumanji, see, when I am teaching Sanskrit grammar, many of my students, some of them who are here also, they find it very difficult, and which is natural. Sanskrit grammar is not very easy. And there are 9 different kinds of Sanskrit grammar, for your kind of information. Sanskrit grammar is not one. There were 9 grammars, 9 schools of grammar. One school itself, we are finding it difficult to learn. Hanumanji was a master in all the 9 schools of grammar. Such a great scholar was Hanuman. So he got an opportunity to listen to both. Sitting on top of Arjuna's chariot, he could hear Gita Upadesha also. Okay. And not only that, it is said that he wrote a bhashyam, a commentary on Bhagavad Gita. It is called Hanumat Paishacha Bhashyam. Paishacha means Pishasha, that is formless. So that Hanuman being as a formless Hanuman, he wrote a bhashyam. And Swami Paramahansa says that bhashyam is available even now. But I don't know from where we can get it. And whether we will understand also, because which grammar Hanumanji has used, we don't know. Right? Not the Sanskrit grammar of Panini that we are studying. But anyhow, these are all interesting, anecdotes to connected with Hanumanji's presence in the Mahabharata war. Okay. And anyhow, the long and short of the story is that is how Arjuna got the title Kapidwajaha, the one who has got a monkey on the flag. And Pujya Swamiji, as I said, he narrates another story. He says that during the Vanavasa, the exile, 14 years of exile Pandavas had to go. They went on a pilgrimage to Himalayas. There is one mountain called Gandhamadana mountain. And they were going through that mountain when Draupadi came across a very beautiful lotus which had 1,000 petals. Very rare. And it had great fragrance also. And the flower was called Saugandhika flower. So she was so much enamored by that she told Bhima to go and get more of them. So Bhima went in search of the Saugandhika flower. And on the way, he saw Lord Hanuman, lying down on the way across, blocking Bhima's way. So Bhima told him, he thought this is some monkey lying down there, big monkey. So he told, please move, I have to go. I am on a special mission to collect these flowers. So Hanuman just saw Bhima and said, okay, you can lift my tail and put it aside and then you can go. So Bhima said, oh, what big deal, monkey's tail. So he went and tried to lift the tail. He could not lift it. Bhima, being such a strong person, he found that he could not lift the tail of a monkey. Then he understood that this is not an ordinary monkey. He understood this is a true identity of Hanuman, that this is Hanuman testing me. Then he understood that it's the elder brother, and so he, did namaskara to him. And then asked him to give advice and all that. And Hanumanji is reported to have given advice on dharma, etc. to Bhima at that time. And also Bhima sought his blessings for the victory in the war. And Hanumanji said, I will sit as in the dwaja of Arjuna as a symbol on top of Arjuna's chariot. And that is another story which goes to show how Arjuna got the title of Kapidwaja. And in fact, Hanuman went ahead and said that he will actually lend his voice to Bhima. And whenever Bhima roared in the battlefield, that roar would have been frightening to the enemies. Hanumanji, had that power. He was a Siddha Purusha. He has all Siddhis. Great character. In fact, Hanumanji, there is no limit to understanding Hanumanji's character. All Siddhis he had, Ashta Siddhi here. He could change his form in any way he wanted. So it's a great character, Hanumanji. Okay. There is one more story which is not found in Mahabharata. It is said that Arjuna once went on pilgrimage to Rameshwar. And when he saw the bridge having been built by the monkeys, because the bridge was built in Treta Yuga. Then he thought that why did Rama, such a great archer, use the monkeys to build this bridge? Being an archer, he could have used this archery skill to build a bridge. Like, I can do it. No big deal. I'll just shoot a few arrows and all that. Immediately a bridge will come up with those arrows. And everybody can cross. It will be a very strong bridge. This is what Arjuna thought. That was his pride, that he was a great archer. He could do the same thing. And Hanuman, in the form of a small monkey, was, could read Arjuna's thought. Or maybe Arjuna was saying to somebody, he heard that. Then he came to Arjuna, he said, no, I know what you have got in your mind, what you are thinking, that Rama could have built this bridge without help of our monkeys, people like me. Why? And here you can build a bridge with your arrows. Why don't you try to show me how you can build a bridge with your arrows? So Arjuna said, no problem. Immediately he took out his bow and arrow, and then quickly he built a bridge. And then that small monkey, Hanuman, said, can I now cross the bridge? Is it ready? Arjuna said, yes, it is ready. You can easily cross. Hanumanji, in the form of a monkey, just took one step on that bridge, the whole bridge collapsed. So that shows, to break Arjuna's pride. The story is told. Okay. Then Arjuna recognized that this was Hanuman. Probably Krishna was also there along with him, and he told him, you don't know whom you are dealing with, my dear Arjuna. This is Hanumanji, the Chiranjeevi. So again, Arjuna asked for the blessings of Hanumanji, and he told him that I will bless you. I will be present in the war. I will be sitting on the top of your chariot. This is another story. And it is also said that Hanuman actually slept through the war. The Mahabharata war, Hanumanji was most of the time sleeping. Only when Krishna talked to Arjuna, he woke up. He chose to listen to what Krishna was saying. And he found the war itself very boring, Something like a 5-day cricket match, where the batsman is playing defensive, blocking all the balls, not scoring any runs. And also, when Bhima came to fight, he would open his eyes and see what was happening. Because he knew that Bhima was a great warrior, and He was like his brother, right? I mean, using the same mace. Hanuman also had his main weapon as the mace. Bhima also had the mace as his weapon, rather, the gada. So he would open his eyes and till Bhima, vanquished the enemies, he would watch that scene, rather. Other than he will close his eyes and again sleep till Krishna again spoke. And nothing else interested him, rather, because he felt this war is nothing. I mean, this is a very chota war, right? So at the end of the war, it seems Bhima asked Hanuman, how did you like this war? How did you enjoy this battle? Then Hanuman said, it is nothing compared to what I have witnessed when Rama fought Ravana. The fight between Rama and Ravana, there is no parallel for that fight. It was such a great, in fact, in the scriptures, it is said that if you want to compare the fight between Rama and Ravana, the only comparison you can give is the fight between Rama and Ravana, because it is incomparable. There is no other comparison. It was such a tremendous fight between Rama and Ravana. In fact, Rama used all his might, but he could not vanquish Ravana. Then the whole Aditya Hridayam was taught to Ravana by Agastya Muni. He said, pray to sun god Rama, because even the old Aditya Hridayam starts saying that Rama was sitting there totally tired, not knowing what to do, how to fight this Ravana. That is how, if you understand the meaning of the Aditya Hridayam Stotram, that is what it starts saying, that Rama totally tired, sitting there, when Agastya Muni saw this and went to him and told him that you pray to Aditya. Whoever has prayed to Aditya has never lost a war. So then, of course, Ramayana story, like this is, we are in Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita story. So what I'm saying is, this war, Bhima, when Bhima asked, Hanuman said, this is nothing. I have witnessed bigger wars. I have witnessed great test matches. This is all nothing. Okay. So anyhow, coming back to that story, Arjuna was sitting in his chariot with Hanuman, Kapidwaja in his banner, and Krishna as his driver. And he saw all Duryodhana and company, Bhima, the Bhishma, Drona especially. When that flash of thought came to Arjuna's mind, and he raised his bow to indicate that he was not yet ready for the fight, and he spoke to Lord Krishna. What did he say? Arjuna felt that he should first see the people whom he is going to fight. Because one thing was sure, this was going to be fight to finish between the two warring armies. So people on his own side are all going to be killed, and lot of people on the other side are also going to be killed. So at least probably Arjuna thought, let me at least for one last time see their faces. Who are these people whom I am going to vanquish, kill? It was not that Arjuna did not know who were all there. It was a family war at the end of the day. So he knew that they were all relatives only. Right? So probably he thought later on he may not be able to, we also have this problem. One last time, let us see the face. A person may be, in the hospital, almost on the deathbed. We will still visit him. Why? To see the face for one last time. Because we don't know next time when we are going to get an opportunity. So like that, Arjuna might have thought, let me see one last time the face. And we must remember, all this is being narrated by Sanjaya to Dhritarashtra. Okay, with the help of the extraordinary power which Acharya has given him. to not only see what is going on, but also to read the minds, what is going on in the minds of people in the war. Okay. So that is why when later on Bhagavan Krishna reveals his Vishwarupa, the 10th, 11th chapter, Sanjaya could report what went on in Arjuna's mind when he was going to, because the chapter is full. Arjuna asked Bhagavan to reveal his Vishwarupa, and when he sees the Vishwarupa, what all is going on in his mind, Sanjaya is able to read and report to Dhritarashtra. Okay. Anyway, so what did Arjuna say to Krishna is that, based upon the thought which occurred, is the turning point in this entire story of Bhagavad Gita. So we will read the sloka. Arjuna uvacha senayor ubhayor madhye ratham sthapya mechyuta yavadetan niriksheham yodhakamanavastitan kairmaya sahayodhavyam asmin ranasamudhyame. So, sorry, no, one more verse we will take. Yotsyamanaanaveksheham ya etetra samagataha dartra rashtrasya durbuddhehe yuddhe priyachikirshavah. Very, very momentous words Arjuna is speaking. I'll give you the Anvaya. Hey Achyuta, मे रथम उभयोः सेनयोः मध्ये स्थापय यावत् अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे अवस्थितान् योद्धकामान् कैः सह मया योद्धव्यम् एतान् अहं निरीक्षे दुर्बुद्धेः धार्तराष्ट्रस्य युद्धे प्रियचिकीर्षवः ये योत्स्यमानान् अत्र समागताः Ete aham avekshe. This is what Arjuna is telling Krishna. Not only telling him what to do, but why, what is his Arjuna's intention, he is expressing. So let us first see the word meanings. Arjuna uvacha. Arjuna said, Hey Achyuta, O Krishna, me ratham, my chariot, ubayoho senayoho, the two armies, ubayoho means two, senayoho armies, the two armies, madhye, between, sthapaya, place. So, hey Krishna, please take my chariot and place it in between the two armies, in a vantage position so that I can see both the armies. Yavat, so that avasthitan, those who are assembled, asmin ranasamudhyame, in this event of war, in this war, yodhakaman, with a desire to fight, kai saha, with whom all, maya yodhavyam, fighting has to be done by me, etan, those, aham nirikshe, I can see, I can examine, I can inspect. Durbuddhehe, evil-minded, Dartra Rashtrasya, of Duryodhana, Yuddhe, in the war, Priyachikirshavah, who wish to fulfill his desire, those people, Yotsyamana, who are eager to fight, Atra Samagataha, who are assembled here, Ete, those, Aham Avekshe, I wish to see. So what he is saying is, O Krishna, please place my chariot between the two armies so that I can see those who are assembled with a desire to fight, with whom I should fight this in the event, in this war. I wish to see those who are all assembled, eager to fight, and who want to fulfill the desire of the evil-minded Duryodhana in this war. This is what Arjuna is telling Krishna. Why he wants Krishna to place the war in between the two armies. So as I said earlier, these three shlokas reveal what prompted Arjuna to halt the war or seek time, and which led to a dramatic turn of events after this. In fact, if you look at it, these shlokas form the bridge between the Act 1 and Act 2 of the Bhagavad Gita first chapter. In fact, another way you can look at it, these shlokas are the bridge between the Mahabharata, which has gone before Bhagavad Gita, and the Bhagavad Gita itself. These are the three very, very important shlokas. They change the whole course of this Mahabharata war. And probably Krishna being a Sarvajnani, he probably had a smile on his face. He knew, I know this is going to happen, my dear Arjuna. He kept quiet. He didn't open his mouth at all. But we can visualize a small smile on his lips. Okay. Because he knew, Krishna knew what was going to happen. But he did not interfere. He let the events to flow. Right? So Arjuna here addresses Lord Krishna as Hey Achyuta. Another beautiful name for Krishna. This is a very, very important nama from a religious, moral, and also philosophical standpoint. We have seen Vishnu Sahasranama students, we have seen this in Vishnu Sahasranama classes. Okay. Achyuta means unfailing or infallible. One who never fails. One who never falls is called Achyuta. Achyuta means to fall, right? So, whatever Satya Sankalpa, whatever Bhagavan wants to achieve, he will accomplish, because the Lord is omniscient and omnipotent, and therefore he is called Achyuta. Never failing, never falling. In the Mahabharata war also, we have seen the Pandavas trusted Lord Krishna, and they found their trust was proved worthy. In the Dhyana Shlokas we saw Kaivartaka Keshava. He helped the Pandavas to cross over like a boatman the treacherous river of this Mahabharata. So the message here is that if we depend upon all these human beings, local people around us, for whatever we want to achieve, whether they can be even local governments or institutions, whatever it is, we may get success or not. Not necessarily every time we will get success. Whereas, if we depend on the Lord, if we put our entire trust on the Lord, he is Achyuta, he will never fail us. Draupadi experienced this in Duryodhana's Sabha. There were 5 husbands there. Each one was a very powerful Yudhishthira, who has never ever lost a war, who has never run away from a war. Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, all 5 people were there. They couldn't come to her rescue. Then elders like Bhishma and Drona were there, witnessing Draupadi being disrobed. A woman's, the worst thing that can happen to a woman. She being disrobed in front of everybody. Can you imagine? Nobody could do anything. Bhishma was speechless. Drona was speechless. They thought, so what? It was Yudhishthira's foolishness. He should not have put Draupadi on stake in this game. He lost her. So the enemies who have won her can do anything with them. This was the logic, the perverted logic these people had, not to come to the help of Draupadi. There was only one brother of Duryodhana who spoke against this. He told Duryodhana, you are not doing the right thing. This is not going to do any good for our family. Duryodhana just dismissed him. Who came to Draupadi's rescue, and when did he come to rescue? Only when Draupadi, having lost all hope, probably left with only a very small portion of the sari to be removed, cried out to Krishna, "Hey Krishna, save me." Immediately Krishna came. He didn't take a second. In fact, he was waiting. He was waiting outside when all this drama was going on. He was waiting. Let Draupadi call me. I will help her in 1 second. Nothing is impossible for me. So we have seen, when we depend on the Lord and cry out to him with all, bhakti, surrender, the Lord will never ever fail us. He is Achyutah. That is why he is Achyutah. He is always trustworthy, and that is why he is given the title of Achyutah. And philosophical significance, as I said, we have seen in Vishnu Sahasranama class. There Adi Shankara explains this in his Bhashyam, explains the word Achyuta as Swarupa Samartyat na Chuto na Chavate na Chavishyata iti Achyutaha. Chuti means fall or decline. So in this context, the reference is to fall or decline from one's own true nature, Sachidananda Swarupaha. So the Lord is of the nature of Sachidananda. He is the creator, sustainer, and also the one who resolves the entire Jagat unto himself. And that is his Samarthya. That's what Adi Shankara says. Swarupa Samarthya. That is his capability, his skill. From this, the Lord never nachutaha, he never falls from this ability to create the world, to sustain the world, to resolve the world. Never deviates, nachutaha. Nachavate, does not deviate. Nachavishyate, will never deviate. Because he has no chuti, he cannot fall. He cannot decline at any time, either in the past, present, or future. And that is why he is known as Achyuta. This is the philosophical meaning of the word Achyuta, Vedantic meaning. Elsewhere in the scriptures also, this word Achyuta is referred to as the one who is infinite, the one who is ever liberated, who never falls into the samsara. All these meanings are given in the scriptures, right? And that is why when the Lord takes birth, we call it an avatar, not a janma. We call it Rama Avatara, Krishna Avatara, and all that. Avatarati means descends, comes down, not falls. Okay. Whereas human beings take janma. We are not avataras. We are born, and that birth signifies our fall from our original nature. That is why we forget what our original nature is, and we are completely boggled bogged down in the samsara. And we have to attend Vedanta classes, study the scriptures and all in order to understand our original nature, which is our nature. To understand who am I have to go through all these studies and, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, everything I have to go through. Because we are all Chuta. We have fallen from our original nature, whereas Bhagavan never falls. He descends and he comes down to help the humanity, to give us Upadeshas like Gita Upadesha, so that we can study the Gita and then understand what our original nature is, which we have forgotten. So that is why he is this called Avatara, and we are our birth is called Janma. Okay. So, as I said, Bhagavan comes down, alights to help the humanity. So that is the word Nitya Muktaha. Another meaning is given in the Shastra also for Acharya. So Arjuna is addressing Bhagavan as Krishna as Achyutaha. And by this, Arjuna is revealing that he knows the original identity of Krishna. Arjuna knew who Krishna was, and that's the reason he chose Krishna to be on his side. See, such a beautiful setup. Arjuna knew that even if I don't have any army, if Krishna is on my side, I will win this war. Message for all of us. Whenever we start any endeavor in our life, please call Bhagavan to be on your side. Ishvara to be on your side, to support you, to help you, to lend a helping hand. Everything in your life will go smoothly without obstacles. It is not that Bhagavan is going to come and remove the obstacles physically. But Bhagavan, acting as the totality, as the samashti, he continuously interacts with your own individuality. Because you are a part of it. It's like a internet connection is there between you and Bhagavan. Only thing is, you have not recharged your batteries. That is why every day you have to do recharge your internet, pray, pray, pray. And when you have got that connection strongly set up, high speed data, all right thoughts will be downloaded in your mind for you to take such action which will give you the success in your endeavor. That is how this process happens. Rather, you will get those right ideas. You will reach the right place at the right time. And that is what success is all about. Success is about being at the right place at the right time and doing the right thing gives you success. This is a simple formula for success. So if you want to succeed in any endeavor or any goal in your life, make sure that your internet connection with Ishvara is perfectly working. High speed is there. Automatically downloading will take place. He will be on your side. In Mahabharata, Krishna is physically shown to be next to Arjuna, but we don't need Krishna physically. Krishna will be there. He will give us the ideas, right ideas. And I'm not telling all these things theoretically and from a religious point. I have personally, I experience all these things in my life. And that is why I'm sharing it with you. All success that I have achieved, I have done it mainly because I have been at the right place at the right time. Nothing to do with my skill or anything. And whatever was to be done at that particular circumstance, that thought occurred to me, I did that and I succeeded. That's it. So if we have that faith in that Achyuta, in that Bhagavan, we can always count on success in our life. Okay. So in this sloka, it looks as if Arjuna is commanding Krishna, please take my chariot there. But it is actually a request. Krishna, at the end of the day, is his charioteer, his driver. So Arjuna is saying, now take, he might not have used the word please. But he has said, take my chariot. He achyuta, me ratam ubayoho senayoho madhye stapaya. Please place my chariot in between the two armies. And in fact, Krishna was sitting in the chariot as a charioteer by his own wish and his own grace, right? It was not that Arjuna has employed Krishna or anything. It was Krishna who said, okay, I will help you, I will be beside you, and I will sit as a charioteer. That's all. So we have to keep all this in mind. So Arjuna could not have actually commanded Krishna that go and place it like that. But it was more like the words were commanding words, but there was a request which was behind. In the tone, probably there was a request. Okay. So he wanted to examine both sides, especially here he says, I wanted to see those people who have assembled to fight this war and to help this evil-minded Duryodhana. Right? So up to this point in time, Arjuna is very clear in his mind that Duryodhana and company, all these people with Duryodhana, they are all evil-minded. They are supporting an evil cause. Durbuddhehe, he says. Evil-minded Duryodhana. He has done all akramas. And this war is to finish all this, to establish the dharma. That is what Arjuna came to the war for. All Pandavas came. It was a dharma yuddham. It was not actually, apparently it was a fight between two families, but it was a dharma yuddham. That is why Krishna was on Arjuna's side. Why? For dharma samsthavanarthaya, for re-establishing dharma in this bhuloka. The very purpose of Krishna's avatara, he was that only, which he himself will say in the Gita later on. And Arjuna has been actually preparing, waiting for this D-Day. For 14 years, they have been practicing. Arjuna has learned all that was required to fight a war like this. All mantras he had learned, and he had got chariots. He has got, very big bow. But whomsoever he could ask for anything as an instrument for war, he had asked and gathered that. From childhood, this Duryodhana has done so much injustice to the Pandavas, especially to Arjuna, because Duryodhana was very, very, very jealous of Arjuna. Arjuna was a very favorite student of Dronacharya also. He was brilliant, he was very skillful. And Dronacharya always used to quote Arjuna's example to all the other students that you must be like Arjuna. Now, whenever we have experienced such things, we also have felt jealous, isn't it? And some of the mischievous ones would have created some trouble for that ideal student in the class, rather, isn't it? So all these things have been going on in Arjuna's mind. So up to this point in time, he has seen Duryodhana only as evil, what to be destroyed. So these slokas indicate all that. What was the situation? What was Arjuna's, what I can say, plan, or what was in his mind till this particular point? He was still considering this whole thing as a dharma yuddha. Right? So as I said, he was waiting for this day, and his anger had, pent up anger was there. He was waiting for this day to release that anger. And when he saw Duryodhana and all, his fury knew no bounds. Very angry he was. And then after asking Krishna to place the chariot, he also explains the reason. Why did he ask him? He said, so that I can clearly survey, carry out, see all those people who are assembled here to fight us, whom I have to fight in this Mahabharata war. And Arjuna wanted to see not only the Duryodhana people, he also wanted to see the other kings who were on his side. Okay. Because all people were somehow or the other either relative or known to each other. Okay. So as I said, it's like, allied powers and all that, like a Second World War, some people joined Duryodhana's side, some kings joined Arjuna's side or Pandava's side. Okay. So let me see all those who are supporting the Dhritarashtra, that is Duryodhana, he said. And when he is taking Duryodhana's name, his blood is boiling. He is recounting everything that Duryodhana has done, including what he did to Bhima to kill him. And that is why he uses the word Durbuddhehe expression, evil-minded. Dushta Buddhi is Durbuddhi, right? Adharmika Buddhi. So this is a very crucial expression, the Durbuddhehe. And that is because up till now, Arjuna does not, as I told you, see this war as a war between relatives, or it is a war among relatives. He is seeing and continuing to see this fight as a fight between good and evil, dharma and adharma. And he is very clear in his mind that irrespective of whoever is there on the adharma side, he has to destroy them. Then only the adharma can be destroyed. And he knew that in a war, himsa is involved, killing is involved, killing of people is involved. And even though Dharma Shastra says that ahimsa is an important virtue, one of the important vows prescribed in the Shastra is ahimsa, right? Because there are a lot of things, Dharma Shastra prescribes one of the things which everybody should follow is ahimsa. Ahimsa means not harming people in any manner, physically, mentally, and all that. And even in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna is going to stress this ahimsa as a value, as a great value rather. But at the same time, our Shastras point out that ahimsa is not an absolute value. For that matter, no value can be an absolute value. Every value has got exceptions. Okay. The general rule ahimsa is what we call utsargaha. That is the general rule. And the exceptions are called apavada. The exceptions. Everything has got exceptions. Therefore, ahimsa is utsargaha. But there are cases when it is one's duty to do himsa. One should not follow ahimsa in those circumstances. That time the apavada rule will apply. Even our gods are supposed to be embodiments of compassion, love, and all that, isn't it? But we see that all the gods are, carrying a lot of weapons, deadly weapons, including Lord Vishnu, Sangha Chakra, and all that. Chakra and all he carries, right? Whether it's Devi, Subramanya has got that Shulam, what is that? The spear. So even though all gods are embodiments of compassion, they do not believe in misplaced compassion. That is very important. Compassion is a good value, but it should not be a misplaced compassion. Compassion should be shown only to those who deserve compassion, not that compassion show everybody compassion, right? Misplaced compassion is very dangerous to the society, and that we are witnessing now, misplaced compassion. And for a Kshatriya, his dharma, he must know that ahimsa is not an absolute rule. For the sake of protecting dharma, if he has to kill the people, if he has to punish the people, as Krishna will say later, paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam, both of them for dharma samsthavanarthaya, it is necessary. So even a Kshatriya has to take to destruction for the sake of establishing dharma. And Arjuna is intensively aware of this fact. And therefore, till now, he has no regret. There is no pang, there is no doubt that he is going to kill thousands of people. He has no regret or compunction, because he clearly sees Duryodhana as Durbuddhehe. I am doing all these for the sake of protecting dharma. And this is the duty of me as a Kshatriya. The very definition of Kshatriya is Kshatat adharmat trayate iti Kshatriya. Is the one, Kshatriya is the one who has to protect the society from adharmic people. And he should, of course, first try Sama, Dana, Bheda, all these, Danda should come last. If all Sama, Dana, Bheda fail, then Danda he should resort to. So it is now this angry Arjuna who is in the battlefield, and he is itching and waiting to shoot the first arrow, when this thought comes to his mind, and he takes a temporary halt and asks Krishna for placing the chariot in between two armies so that he can inspect what is the whole situation. He can see the faces of people, especially on the Duryodhana's side. So we will see more of it in the next class. I'll say the prayers. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnamadhaya Purnamedva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. If any of you have not marked attendance, please do so. One last and final call. Thank you.
Namaskaram. Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste. Thank you all very much.
Namaskaram.
Thank you.
Namaskaram, Guruji.
Namaskaram.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
धन्यवादः गुरुजी.
Dhanyavadaha. Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.
धन्यवादः गुरुजी. हरि ओम.
Thank you.
Guruji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji. Namaskaram. Thank you.
Namaskaram. Thank you. Any questions are there or any comments? If nothing is there, then we can close the session.
For Guruji, one thing I want to, I can't say comment. Yesterday I was listening to another Swamiji called Nirbhayananda Saraswati.
Okay.
He is from Karnataka somewhere.
Ah.
So in his talk, he mentioned that it is Ashoka who is responsible for the, dropping the weapons and not fighting. After the Kalinga war, when he sees the river full of blood, he says, now I should tread the path of ahimsa. He says this ahimsa is actually working against the basic fundamentalism of the Hindus, because the Hindus have become very subdued. We don't fight for our cause properly.
Yes, true. Because the problem is in Hindus, what has happened is the varnas, the four varnas which are supposed to be there, that system has collapsed. Now, what is happening is the people amongst Hindus, the most, especially if you take Tamil Nadu and all,
Correct.
the Brahmins are the one who are most oppressed.
True.
And it is not the duty of the Brahmins to protect the dharma. The Kshatriyas should have come and protected the Brahmins. But the Kshatriyas are missing. They are the ones who are actually troubling the Brahmins probably.
No, according to him, we should have no divide now. All should behave like Kshatriyas or whatever it is.
See, that's true. That is true. And that is why, there are militant outfits even among Hindus. They have all sprung up, rather. Right. But the basic ethos, which is there, has been there from beginningless times in the psyche of the Hindu population, is coexistence. It is, peaceful coexistence with everybody. It is very, very difficult to replace that psyche. It may probably take another about 1,000 years for that to happen, rather. I don't know. But in general, this is there in the psyche of the Hindus, rather. And unless, as you rightly said, like Ashoka, so much blood and he took the ahimsa. When we see so much blood of ours, we may take to ahimsa, rather.
But we remain mute spectators.
We are right now mute spectators only, rather. And there one voice here, one voice there and all that. So much akramam is going on. But
Correct.
again, the problem with all this Bhagavad Gita and all that is avatara business is, we are waiting for one Bhagavan to, take a avatara and save us.
Be born.
Yeah, but that will happen in the end of Kali Yuga after 4,27,000 years. We have only completed 5,000 years of Kali Yuga because Bhagavan has taken avatara to finish adharma only at the end of a yuga, rather. So we have to wait for another 4,27,000 years. So you are right. I mean, see, these are issues where we can go on debating whether what is right, what is wrong. But even the Puja Swamiji also, especially the conversions, he says that your religion preaches non-violence, but the conversion is a form of violence. That was Puja Swamiji always used to say to the the followers of Christianity, because they were actively converting people, right? So all these lot of issues are there so far as Hindus are concerned. And then another very important thing what Hindus have, we are Sanatana Dharma. When 1,000 years of foreign rule act could not actually change us. Yeah, if you look at both Christianity and Islam, the way they change the geography of the Europe, the way they change the geography of the Middle East, and they tried that level best in India also, but they couldn't do it. Today we have still 85%, 80% Hindus are there in this country. That is another false confidence we have got, that let anybody do anything, nothing will happen to us.
Absolutely.
And this is the problem in our day-to-day life also. We do it. We have some sort of a very false, sense of confidence. Everything will become all right. Sab kuch theek ho jayega. I say, I don't need to do anything. And this is the many people get into problems because of this only.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Even a person is in the deathbed and the doctor tells that this fellow he is not going to survive 24 hours. Still, we will pray and do so many things to think that no, everything will become all right. Everything will become all right. So that's a very false sense of confidence we have. And that is embedded in our psyche. I'm not criticizing this. I'm not saying what they are doing is wrong. But it's very difficult to displace it from our psyche. We have never ever been a warrior, community. We have never gone and killed people or fought any war. So all these things we have to take it into account. But reality of today is that we have to live through that. It's a part of Kali Yuga. We have to take it.
True. Okay, Swami. Thank you.
Hariom, thank you very much.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
Guruji, you mentioned false confidence. Maybe my thought says that, it may not be a false confidence, but it's the same point what you said earlier, that we think truly, or we think strongly that God is on our side, something will happen, something good will happen. That's why, we are not going in that direction, I believe.
My point was because ultimately, in my personal belief also is that I mentioned, I think in one of the earlier class, Ishwara yat karoti shobhanameva karoti, right? Whatever happens always happens for the good, even though the particular event may look to be a bad event. But eventually, when we put all the events together in retrospect, we will find that everything that had happened, which appeared to be bad at the time it happened, they turned out to be good only. So that also is a very valid, very good value to have rather. So
Right,
I agree with you. I mean, it may not be a false confidence, but a confidence that everything eventually will become all right.
Become good, yeah.
That's
Guruji, I have another question.
Yeah.
You talked about, adharmic people and samadhana, vedadanda and all those stuff. Suddenly it came to my thought that, for example, take Ravana. Ravana is a dharmic person. But why God has given a great boon to him, like those kind of demons, God is giving more and more boons, then God has to come and kill them. We know that, they are, not we, I mean, God knows that he's a dharmic person, but still he's giving power for them to rule. And then
See, if you look at Ravana,
Mm.
till the time, because Ravana, of course, he defeated Kubera and he took over Lanka and all that, right? And as a king, he did all that. He was
He was Kshatriya too.
adharmic about it.
Okay.
The only adharmic thing Ravana did was coveting somebody else's,
Wife.
That is the only start of downfall of Ravana. If he had not fallen for that, otherwise Ravana was a very great religious person. He was before that, he was actually even after that also, he was a great Shiva Bhakta.
Shiva devotee.
Shiva devotee, and he has actually composed slokas on Shiva. So I think some Shiva Thandava Shostram or something, I have a vague memory rather, something Ravana has composed, and he was a great musician. Ravana was a greatly accomplished people. So the what we have to take away from Ramayana is, you may be any accomplishment you may have, you may be the top of the world, but one small adharmic action can lead to your downfall. That is what. Whereas in the context of Treta Yuga, right, this coveting or kidnapping Sita was an adharmic action.
Adharmic action.
In the context of Kali Yuga, this is a regular action.
Still, it's not a regular. I mean, even though it's a regular action,
what I'm saying is, there is no adharmika. People don't attach adharmika. The only action is some law will come in, and nobody even is thinking of dharma, adharma when these things happen in today, right? Even if you see in the case of Dwapara Yuga, what was the condition? The Draupadi being disrobed and everybody watching, right? It was
because it was an agreement. It was an agreement in the play that he can do anything he wants after he wins.
Correct.
So
that is true. But then you see, but when we say when you can do anything you want, you don't disturb a woman in front of everybody, right?
Right. I mean, that was not in the agreement anyway.
You can keep her as your, whatever it is, take her to your harem and do whatever and all. That's a different thing. But to openly remove her sari and disrobe her in front of everybody was adharmam.
Yes.
And that was why he wanted to take a revenge on Draupadi. That's why this Duryodhana and company did that. So we have to look at a lot of things in the context to what is dharma and what is adharma is a very, very, you cannot define it in watertight compartments.
Right.
So every context we have to see what is dharma, what is adharma. As I said, ahimsa is adharma. Ahimsa is dharma. Himsa is adharma. Correct. Now, if you go and tell a doctor, a surgeon, don't conduct the surgeries because you are doing adharma.
It is ahimsa. You cannot cut a body. That's wrong.
That's
That's
wrong.
situation.
So,
But that is situational. Yeah.
so again, you have to interpret all these values depending upon the situation.
That cutting the body is to save a life, not to
Exactly.
take away
So
the life.
purpose, so one has to see, when we are talking about dharma, adharma and all that, we have to always look, because karma, but I have explained this as part of karma yoga in my Tattva class. Karma, one, it is not the action which you do that brings you punya papa, but the intention behind the action that brings you punya papa.
Okay. So intention is more important than the
Intention
action.
is more important than the very action itself.
Right.
If
I mean, that's why.
if your action is a violent act, but the intention behind that violent act is to save somebody's life, then you get punya, even though you are indulging in a violent act.
Right. And also, Raghuji, like it's a overall, bird's eye view of the whole thing, Mahabharata, even any other scriptures. I was always having a doubt that, if you've got things, he can, he's a totality, right? So he can make or break, or he not even created the story, first of all, in place, like why he creates something and then he teaches something. It is for teaching us as a Janma. We are all Janmas and we are not avatars, you said. So people have to forget everything, come back again, born again, and they have to learn again the whole thing. Then again, based on his karma, calculations, then again he had to born, forget everything, learn everything, come back again and again until you get moksha. So that is the life cycle of the story. And that's why he creates all these things or a story for such, like a real events become story to teach the people or to make the people to learn again new that this is what you need to be and this is the dharma, this is the dharma, something like that.
All this here, exactly, all our Puranas, all our Itihasas, everything are what? Because these values, this dharma, adharma business is enshrined in the Vedas. Now the Vedas, everybody is not going to study the Vedas. Even if they study, they are not going to understand what the implication is. So what has happened is all these in the form of stories and all are only packaging that dharma business in different stories and all and serving to the people. And at the end of the day, if you look at what creation, what is the purpose of creation? Right. Purpose of creation is to help the jivas to exhaust their past karmas.
Okay.
Whatever karmas are there to exhaust their karmas. And not only that, in order to give the human beings an opportunity to escape from this cycle of rebirth. To actually not only exhaust their karmas, to completely wipe out their karmas, to give an opportunity for the human beings to do that. This is the whole purpose of creation. So Bhagavan is not creating just for his entertainment or anything. If somebody's past karmas were there, with that, by taking birth as a buffalo, that karma will be exhausted. So Bhagavan will create, make a creation where that person will be born as a buffalo and that buffalo karma will be exhausted. Next janma, he may be a human being also. So we have to understand the total perspective, why the creation is, why Bhagavan is made the creation. The creation is there for the human beings or for that all jivas to exhaust their past karmas. And especially human beings in order to get rid of this rebirth. And that is why Bhagavan has given only human beings the free will. Use your free will. It's the instrument I'm giving. Use that free will to get moksha, get rid of this whole thing. Again, it is not Bhagavan who is giving moksha. We have to work towards that. Grace should be there. If Bhagavan finds that you are serious, if the totality finds that you are serious about what your pursuit is, it will make it happen. And this even, the foreign authors also acknowledge that. So that is why, this system, we have to understand what exactly all this is all about. And these stories are all, as you rightly said, they are all trying to teach us through various different stories and all. Mahabharata, all that has happened in the Mahabharata epic, many of them may be just imagination of Vyasacharya. Not necessarily that everything actually happened. A lot of masalas could be there in that, to make it interesting for people. Like added to that, now you see how drama is unfolding in the first chapter itself. Otherwise, you can just read the slokas, know the meaning. Okay, this happened, this happened. But what anybody like even Puja Swamiji or Paramahanandaji and all, they have created a drama out of it. And so it is interesting, it is captivating. And through that drama, a message is being passed. The message of raga, the strength of attachment. How strong attachment is we will see in the next class. And that is why I said this is a turning point. These 3 slokas are turning point. Till now, what Arjuna was, what Arjuna is going to be, the next scene, we're totally different Arjuna. So all that is for us to understand how this attachment can be disastrous for you. It can take you away from your goals in life. It can convert you in such a way that you start looking at dharma as adharma and adharma as dharma. Totally confuse your mind, make you deluded. By understanding that, we will understand the value of vairagya. We will understand the value of viveka. So all that is inbuilt into these stories, rather. And it is for an Acharya to unravel all these things whenever they're teaching. Yeah. So there are a lot of things to discuss, to talk. So many things are there, but they are all useful in the sense that they build up the knowledge space. Any more comments, questions, please? Otherwise, we can say namaste today and meet next week. Okay.
Namaste and thank you, Guruji.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji. Bye.
Thank you. Hari Om.
Hari Om.